I'm Robert Hayes. I'm 68 years old, and 3 weeks ago, my son Marcus canceled my flight and left me stranded at an airport overnight with no explanation. No call, no text, nothing. I sat there for 6 hours, watching the terminal empty out, wondering if I'd done something wrong, wondering if he'd forgotten me, wondering if, maybe, I was losing my mind. Then a stranger sat down next to me at 11:47 p.m. and said 6 words that shattered everything I thought I knew about my own son. Your son didn't want you there. What happened next wasn't just betrayal. It was calculated, cold, and it involved my dead wife's money, a secret girlfriend, and a plan to erase me from my own life. But here's the thing they didn't count on. I'm not who they thought I was. If you want to know how a 68-year-old man took down his own son's scheme and got revenge without throwing a single punch, you need to subscribe right now. Hit that like button. Turn on notifications. Because this story gets darker, smarter, and more satisfying with every chapter. And if you don't subscribe, you'll miss the moment I walked into Marcus's house unannounced and heard him say something that changed everything. Don't get left behind. Subscribe now. Let's go. I'm sitting on a hard plastic chair at Gate 27 in Denver International Airport, and my son has erased me from the sky. It's 6:43 p.m. I've been here since noon. My connecting flight to Portland was supposed to leave at 2:15, but when I went to check in, the gate agent, a young woman with kind eyes and a name tag that said Shauna, looked at my boarding pass, typed something into her computer, and her face changed. That expression. You know the one. The one that says, something's wrong, and I'm the person who has to tell you. Mr. Hayes, she said carefully, it looks like your reservation was canceled. I laughed, not because it was funny, because it didn't make sense. Canceled? There must be a mistake. My son booked this. Marcus Hayes. He used his credit card, his account, everything. She typed again. Slower this time. Then she looked up at me and I saw something in her face that made my stomach drop. Sir, the reservation was canceled by the account holder 4 hours ago. 4 hours ago, I was going through security, taking off my shoes, putting my belt in a gray bin. 4 hours ago, Marcus was deleting me from his travel plans, and he didn't say a word. Can you call him? Maybe there's been a mistake? Shauna gave me that smile, the professional one that says I'm sorry, but this isn't my problem. You'll need to contact the account holder directly, sir. I can help you book a new flight if you'd like, but it won't be on the same itinerary. I nodded, stepped aside, let the family behind me check in for their flight to somewhere warm, somewhere happy. And I called Marcus, straight to voicemail. I called again. Hey, it's Mark. Leave a message. Again, again, again. 17 times. I counted, 17 calls to my only son, and every single one went to that same cheerful, distant voice, like he wasn't dodging me, like his phone just happened to be off while I sat in an airport 3 states away with nowhere to go. By 8 p.m., I'd moved to a different part of the terminal, somewhere quieter. Gate 27 was for a flight to Seattle, and families kept lining up, kept hugging, kept moving forward while I sat there like luggage someone forgot to claim. I thought about calling Jessica, Marcus's ex-wife, but they'd been divorced for 8 months, and I barely knew her number. I thought about calling old friends back in Ohio, but Margaret handled the social calendar, and after the courthouse smells like old wood and broken promises. I'm wearing the only suit I own, the one I bought for Marcus's college graduation 15 years ago. It still fits, barely, though the shoulders are shinier than they should be. Rebecca walks beside me, her heels clicking with purpose on the marble floor. He doesn't know you're here, she reminds me. Jennifer's attorney listed you as a surprise witness. When you walk into that courtroom, he'll see a ghost. I finish her sentence. My hands are shaking. I shove them in my pockets. The courtroom is smaller than I imagined. Marcus sits at a table with his lawyer. some slick guy in a suit that probably costs more than my monthly pension. He's scrolling through his phone, casual, confident, like this is just another inconvenience he'll throw money at until it disappears. He hasn't seen me yet. Jennifer sits across from him. She's prettier than her photo suggested, tired, but with a strength in her jaw that reminds me of Elena. Our eyes meet. She nods once. "Thank you," that nod says. The judge enters. Everyone rises. I stay in the back row behind a pillar, waiting. Jennifer's attorney starts methodically. Financial records, undisclosed accounts, a pattern of deception. Marcus looks bored. His lawyer objects to everything, voice dripping with practiced contempt. Then I hear my name. "Your Honor, I'd like to call Robert Sullivan to the stand." Marcus's head snaps up. His face goes white. Actually, white. He twists in his seat, scanning the courtroom, and then he sees me. Our eyes lock. I watch my son's expression cycle through disbelief, terror, rage, and something else I can't quite name. His lawyer is whispering urgently in his ear, but Marcus isn't listening. He's staring at me like I'm rising from the grave. I walk down that aisle slowly. Each step is deliberate. Each step says, I exist. I'm real. You can't erase me. When I pass his table, Marcus half rises. "Dad, I can explain." "Sit down, Mr. Sullivan," the judge says sharply. I take the stand, get sworn in, place my hand on the Bible, and promise to tell the truth. The irony isn't lost on me. Jennifer's attorney is thorough but kind. She asks about my relationship with Marcus. I tell her about the factory job, the sacrifices, the pride I felt watching him succeed. I tell her about the calls that got less frequent, the visits that stopped happening, the excuses that I swallowed because I didn't want to be a burden. "And when did you learn your son had told his wife you were deceased?" she asks. 3 nights ago, in an airport, from a stranger." My voice cracks. I don't try to hide it. The attorney introduces documents. The fraudulent life insurance policy. Monthly payouts totaling $47,000 over 3 years. Marcus's signature on forms declaring me dead. "Mr. Sullivan," she says gently, "did you give your son permission to declare you deceased?" "No, ma'am." "Did you give him permission to collect insurance money in your name?" "No, ma'am." "Why do you think your son did this?" I look at Marcus then. Really look at him. He's crying silently, shoulders shaking, and for a moment I see the boy who used to curl up next to me on the couch watching baseball. The boy who called me his hero. "Because I embarrassed him," I say quietly. "Because I'm proof that he came from nothing, and he needed everyone to believe he'd always been something." The cross-examination is brutal. Marcus's lawyer tries to paint me as a neglectful father, suggests I'm lying about the insurance, implies I'm here for money. But the documents don't lie. The bank statements don't lie. When I step down, I have to walk past Marcus again. This time he grabs my arm. "Dad," he whispers desperately. "Please, my girls. Don't—" I stop, look down at his hand on my sleeve. "Your girls," I say slowly, "think their grandfather is dead. You made sure of that." I pull away and keep walking. The judge calls a recess. Rebecca meets me in the hallway, triumphant. "You were perfect." The judge's face, Marcus, is finished. But I don't feel triumphant. I feel hollow, because I just destroyed my son. And I still don't know if it was justice or just revenge. The judge's chambers smell like leather and old decisions. She called us back here, me, Marcus, Jennifer, and the lawyers, and the look on her face tells me this isn't standard procedure. Something has shifted. Marcus sits 3 feet away from me, but it feels like miles. He won't look at me. His lawyer keeps checking his watch, irritated, like he has somewhere more important to be. "Before I issue my ruling," Judge Morrison says, folding her hands on the desk, "Mr. Marcus Sullivan has requested permission to speak directly to his father. Off the record." My stomach tightens. I don't want to hear, "Please, Dad." Marcus's voice breaks. It's the first time he's called me that in 3 years. 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking. Jennifer's attorney starts to object, but Jennifer herself touches her arm, shakes her head. There's something in her expression. Not kindness exactly, but understanding. Like she knows something I don't. 5 minutes, Judge Morrison says. Everyone else out. The room empties. It's just me and Marcus and 20 years of silence between us. He doesn't speak right away. Just sits there, hands clasped, staring at the floor. When he finally looks up, his eyes are red-rimmed and raw. I need to tell you about Mom, he says. My chest constricts. Your mother left us. That's ancient history. No. Marcus shakes his head violently. That's what I told myself. That's the story I needed to believe. But Dad, she didn't just leave. She told me why. Marcus, I don't need to revisit. She said you were too small. The words come out strangled. I was 16. She sat me down before she left and told me that she'd married beneath herself, that she'd wasted her life on a factory worker who had no ambition, and that if I wasn't careful, I'd end up exactly like you. The room tilts. I remember that conversation I never heard. That poison I never knew was planted. She made me promise, Marcus continues, voice shaking. She said if I wanted anything from life, if I wanted to be someone, I had to cut away everything that held me back. She meant you, Dad. She meant you were the thing I had to cut away. So you did. My voice is flat, dead. I fought it for years. Tears stream down his face now. I visited. I called. I tried to prove her wrong. But every time I brought Jennifer around, every time my colleagues asked about my family, I could hear Mom's voice. They'll judge you. They'll see where you came from. You'll lose everything. So you killed me instead. I killed the version of me that was your son. Marcus's shoulders heave. The insurance fraud, that wasn't about money, Dad. I have money. It was about making it official in my own head. If you were legally dead on paper, I could finally stop feeling guilty for erasing you from my life. I want to rage, want to scream, but all I feel is exhausted. When did Jennifer find out? I asked quietly. 6 months ago. She found a photo of us, you and me at my graduation. She asked who you were. I panicked and said you were dead. He laughs bitterly. She believed me, started asking questions about how you died, wanted to know why I never talked about you. The lies got bigger. The investigator was Jennifer's idea. She thought I was hiding another woman. Instead, she found you, alive, erased. And your daughters, they ask about you. Marcus's voice breaks completely. Emma, my oldest, she's 8. She found that same photo last month, asked why Daddy looked so happy with that man. I told her you were my father and that you died before she was born. She cried, Dad. She cried for a grandfather she never met, and I stood there knowing I'd stolen that from both of you. The anger I've carried for 3 days suddenly feels like ash, because I see it now, the real tragedy. Marcus didn't just erase me. He erased himself. The boy who used to help me fix cars in the driveway. The kid who was proud to wear my old jacket to school. Your mother was wrong, I say finally. About me, about you, about all of it. I know that now. Marcus wipes his face. But I'm 38 years old, and I just destroyed my marriage, my reputation, and any chance of a relationship with you because I was still trying to win an argument with a woman who left 20 years ago. What do you want from me, Marcus? He looks at me fully then. I want you to let me tell my daughters the truth. I want them to meet you. And I want... His voice drops to a whisper. I want to know if there's any possibility, any chance at all, that someday you might forgive me. The door opens. Judge Morrison returns with the others. Time's up. Mr. Sullivan, she says to me, I'm prepared to rule on the divorce and fraud charges. But I need to know, are you pressing criminal charges against your son? Everyone waits. Marcus stares at me. This is it. The moment I can finish what I started. Send him to prison. Take everything. I think about those little girls who cried for a grandfather they never knew. No, I hear myself say. No charges. Marcus's lawyer looks stunned. Jennifer looks confused. But Rebecca, she just nods slowly, like she knew this was how it would end. However, I continue, looking directly at Marcus, I have conditions. 3 months later, I'm standing in Jennifer's garden, my former daughter-in-law's garden, watching 2 little girls chase butterflies between the roses. Emma and Sophie, my granddaughters. They know who I am now. The conditions I gave the judge were simple. Marcus completes therapy. Weekly sessions, minimum 1 year. He writes a formal apology to be read at every family gathering. He establishes a college fund for his daughters equal to the amount he stole from the fraudulent insurance policy. And, most importantly, he tells his daughters the whole truth, age-appropriately, about what he did. He agreed to everything. The divorce went through. Marcus lost the house, half his assets, and joint custody. Jennifer was generous considering what he'd done. Supervised visits, gradually increasing as he proves he's changing. The judge ordered restitution for the insurance fraud but no jail time. Partly because I didn't press charges. Partly because she saw what I saw. A man who'd already imprisoned himself for 20 years. "Grandpa Rob!" Emma runs up, breathless, holding a dandelion. "Make a wish." I take the flower, close my eyes. What do I wish for? Marcus appears on the porch. He comes every Saturday now, spends 3 hours with his girls under Jennifer's watchful eye. He's thinner, grayer, the expensive suits replaced by jeans and simple shirts. He looks more like the boy I raised and less like the man he was trying to become. Our eyes meet. He nods. I nod back. We're not okay. Maybe we'll never be okay. But we're here. That's something. "You know what I wished for?" Emma asks, watching the dandelion seeds scatter. "What's that, sweetheart?" "That you'll teach me how to fix cars like you taught Daddy." She grins, missing her 2 front teeth. "Daddy says you're the best." My throat tightens. I glance at Marcus. He's watching us, and there's something in his face. Gratitude, maybe. Or grief for all the years we lost. "I'd like that," I tell Emma. "I'd like that very much." Sophie, the younger one, tugs my hand. "Can you come to my birthday? It's next month. I'm going to be 6. Wouldn't miss it for the world." Jennifer brings out lemonade. She's kind to me, this woman my son betrayed. She didn't have to include me in this fragile new family structure, but she did. "The girls talk about you constantly," she tells me quietly. "You're good for them. They need to know where they come from, who they really are." Marcus joins us eventually. We stand awkwardly together, watching the girls play. "I'm sorry," he says for the 1,000th time. I know." I cut him off gently. "I know you are. Will you ever forgive me?" I consider this. Honest answer? I don't know. Ask me in a year. Ask me in 10. He nods, accepts it. That's growth, I suppose. Emma calls us over to see a caterpillar. We walk toward our granddaughters together, this broken father and his shattered son, and for the first time in 3 years, we're walking in the same direction. It's not forgiveness. Not yet. But it's the beginning of something. And sometimes, that's enough. Chapter 5. The Confession. The judge's chambers smell like leather and old decisions. She called us back here, me, Marcus, Jennifer, and the lawyers, and the look on her face tells me this isn't standard procedure. Something has shifted. Marcus sits 3 feet away from me, but it feels like miles. He won't look at me. His lawyer keeps checking his watch, irritated, like he